Hello, YouTube. Once again, I want to explore the mystery of the dolmen and bring some most recent information from Russia about the research by scientists on the dolmen phenomena in that country. A new bas-relief with figures on a dolmen has been discovered near the city of Sochi. How was it made? The Chumaki Dolmen Group is located in the Lazarevsky district of Greater Sochi in the basin of the Tsukhvaj River. Relief, petroglyphs, and bas-reliefs depicting three dancing human figures were found on the front plate of one of the composite dolmens. Composition detection has become possible thanks to the use of new digital technologies, including photogrammetry and subsequent 3D processing using shadow and glare patterns in oblique rays of virtual light sources using gradient procedural maps. This makes it possible to show bas-relief images more clearly and identify poorly preserved fragments, according to the TASS news agency report, citing a source in the Russian Academy of Sciences. Currently, the Russian Academy of Sciences is creating a register of all dolmens located in the Greater Sochi area. It is expected that a catalog of dolmens using geoinformation technologies will be developed by the year 2026. While this catalog will provide experts with accurate information about the location of each registered megalith, including its typology and a description of its current condition. About the dancing man, humans. Unfortunately, scientists do not apply photos of the find. They didn't provide them. The image was destroyed by erosion. It is difficult to distinguish and is determined by the instrument method. Over 400 dolmens have been discovered in the vicinity of Greater Sochi. Dolmens are one of the most ancient and large-scale stone structures in Russia. I have a number of videos on this subject, and I have been collecting information about them for decades. Look in my channel, use the word dolmen for search, and you will see those videos. Other ornaments on dolmens. Among the many dolmens, there are some with ornaments applied to the slabs. Like in the photo where the dolmen is destroyed, the ornament is scratched into the stone, has signs of erosion, but is still distinguishable. There is more complex ornament and with better preservation. Its builders clearly approached it from the point of view of decoration to create a structure. The lines are not scratched along, but across their length. The dolmens of Leso Kiafar have been moved from their original location and now are located under the roof, I believe in the Stavropol Museum. As you can see, the image protrudes above the plane of the stone. The ancient master removed everything superfluous, leaving a bas-relief. This method of ornament application is not the only one on the dolmens of the Caucasus. Near the village of Shirokaya Shel, there's a well-preserved dolmen with the Russian letter P-shaped petroglyph on the front block. That is even there, for some reason, the builders cut off all the material from the surface of the slab, leaving this image of a P-shaped element, although the other blocks are completely unprocessed. There are also 4 bulges above this element. Pay attention to the cavities, which look like bullet marks left in the stone. But these are not gunshots marks. The tracks look like craters. They have a rim. This remains the case when, after laying concrete, heavy rain begins and large drops on the surface create microcraters. Identical bas-reliefs on different dolmens. The dolmen in the valley of the river Zhan also has a Russian letter P-shaped bas-relief on the front plate. The dolmens of Chernomorka also has a convex bas-relief. These symbols meant something because they're found on a number of dolmens, but they're better preserved here. The visor of the upper plate protected the bas-relief from the rains. False plugs are often found on dolmens. It turns out that this is also a decorative element made using the same technology. The hypothesis about the meaning of dolmens. Well, it is believed that the dolmens are crypts. Alternative hypotheses are not considered because everything is unambiguous in the science of history, and many opinions are not welcome there. But one of the hypotheses about the purpose of the dolmens is the assumption that this structure covered springs, water outlets for protection and ease of use. A water pipe or chute was installed from the holes in the stove to collect water in buckets. They protected the springs from wild animals. Now the springs are all dry, the water outlet has stopped. And later they began to be used as crypts. Well, there are some comments that I often find looking to the Russian internet. Except for the purpose of burial, there is no purpose, states one commentator. Rather cynically, pyramids for burial, valleys for burial, is there no other option? Are the stones of the dolmens, and the stones of the dolmens were really poor, that is, the stones was softened to a liquid state, the drawings were made and everything froze. There's another comment who says that he especially liked the image in the second photo. There are perfect circles there, as if they were made with compasses. Once again, the thought comes to mind that we don't know anything about our human history. Another comment is that if we assume that dolmens in the distant past were built and used as traps for certain immaterial entities, and the so-called ornament false entrances and nothing more than acting as bait for them, it is important to understand the reality of the time was very different from today's in many ways. Dolmens are not only similar but also unlike each other, and they exist not only in the Caucasus but also on the Iberian Peninsula, in Arabia, and in other places. According to the time of their appearance, they do not belong to any one epoch, which means that they probably have different purposes. I notice, however, one oddity. Next to some, I have a surge of strength. And again, I'm quoting Russian online commentators, but that person is not the only one that expressed this. Let's continue. With others, on the contrary, the condition is the same as at the beginning of the disease. There are no neutrals. Vernadsky, in my opinion, once said that the previous civilization on Earth was magical. Perhaps all these dolmens are from those times. So you see a whole variety of opinions, from strict scientific, the dolmens are for burial, to people just asking questions, trying to understand what is going on. People see those dolmens in many places, in the Sochi area, in the Caucasus area, in Russia, and that territory, and they'll continue asking questions. I'll bring you more information about the dolmens as time goes by. I think it's one of the most tangible proofs of the mysteries of the past. If you like my research, please support me through the links you'll find in the description to this video. Please like my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your attention to my work.